So today I'm going to explain you my research and the implementation in the market, which is related to cybersecurity framework for small and medium enterprises or small and medium businesses worldwide. It is known as Business Domain Specific Least Cybersecurity Controls Implementation, BDSLCCI framework. So to revise like what is happening in the market. So before few months, there was a news and it made me and many people sad. Like one of the women in Germany died because of ransomware attack in one of the hospital, and doctor couldn't treat her because ransomware attack impacted the ICU equipment of the hospital and it was not functioning properly. So this is the problem nowadays even healthcare is facing in terms of cybersecurity. And there are few news, if you Google out, related to water supply systems in the United States are getting hacked by the hackers. It is because of the war conditions in Israel and many countries, and hackers are getting state sponsored to perform such kind of attacks. And hacker actually hacked the PLC machines, programmable logic controller, and the hackers actually increase the sodium hydroxide and chlorine levels 100 times more, and which is being used for removing impurities of the water before supplying to city. And the water become poisonous. It is good like it got caught beforehand and it didn't cause any harm to the people. So recently, one news paid attention for many of us, where one of the deepfake call happened in Hong Kong, and where one of the accountant who was having authority to transfer money got order from CFO in Zoom call, and he transferred $25 million to 15 different accounts. And after that, he came to know like that was a deepfake call. CFO haven't instructed him to do such kind of activity. So it is a very shocking news before few months. Japanese watchmaker Seiko got breached by Black Cat ransomware gang recently, and their technical schema, their intellectual properties were on sale by the hackers. So it is very dangerous thing. And why I'm telling you many of such recent news, because you will relate what kind of cyber attacks are happening worldwide and what is the impact of those in our personal and professional life. If you look at small and medium enterprises, these companies are leading contributors towards the global economy. They represent 90% of the businesses worldwide, and they generate 60 to 70% of employment opportunities worldwide. They also contribute 55% of GDP in developed economy. And according to NCSC, 1 out of 2 small and medium business is having chance to undergo cyber attack. 43% of targeted industry cyber attacks are happening on small businesses. 60% of small business shut down their business down the time of 6 months after undergoing cyber attack in many countries. It is a very shocking statistics which I studied during my doctorate from SSBM Geneva, Switzerland. And few countries call the small and medium enterprises as SME. Few countries call it as a small and medium business, SMB. Few countries, even in India and Africa, they call it as a MSME, micro, small and medium enterprises, more or less depending on the turnover of the company, domain of the company, and the number of employees in the company, the definition changes. When I interacted with the top management of small and medium enterprises, I come across few statistics I wanted to share with you. I got input from 19 different countries, and during my interaction with the management of small and medium businesses, I come across like there are around 49% of the companies which comes under SME or SMB are not even having any standard or framework implemented at their place. ISO and GDPR are the well-known frameworks in MSME or SME companies. Many of the companies, when I ask them what are the security control implementation at their end, many of them were not able to answer. Around 28% companies are not having any controls to secure themselves. And many of them were not sure if they have security controls or not. That is very, very horrible because they are not aware what is the security controls. And when I digged in, I come across like there are popular security controls. The people who responded, the top men who responded, like they have some kind of cybersecurity controls implemented, which is more than 50% companies. They said like the most of them are having guards, biometric kind of controls as a physical security control. And most of them are treating firewall and antivirus as best cybersecurity control. And many of them are not even having the written procedures and security guidelines. And many of them are not even having any single policy and procedure and guidelines, like around 21% of them. So it is very difficult for me because I'm working in cybersecurity domain since last 2 decades around, and I'm actually doing audits of many companies as a cybersecurity expert, including banks and many companies. And when I digged into what are the cybersecurity awareness trainings they are performing at their for their employees, many of them are not even perform, like 34% of them not even perform any cybersecurity awareness training till now. And only few of them are performing the cybersecurity trainings once in a year or twice in a year. When I digged into what kind of cyber attacks these companies are facing, most of them are facing like man-in-middle attack, phishing attack, insider attack, web attack, ransomware attack, denial of service attack. And 47 to 48% companies were saying like we haven't failed, like we have faced any cyber attack. And when I digged into what are the problems or challenges they are facing while they want to implement cybersecurity posture or implement any standard available in market, they are saying we are not having enough funds to implement cybersecurity controls because all the standards available in market are very expensive to implement for small and medium business or startup kind of companies. Also, they are not having skilled employees to implement and understand the cybersecurity need and to maintain cybersecurity controls. Third thing, they are saying we don't have return on it. We can't see any return on investment. Why shall we invest few $1,000 in each control or to pay the consulting fee for the consultant, security consultant? So they are not concerned about cybersecurity as their priority. So they are not investing. They are saying what is the return on investment? Because all the standards or frameworks available in market are generic in nature. Even though you are a pharma company, chemical company, IT company, e-commerce company, you have to implement all the controls which standard ask you to implement. Otherwise, you will not get qualified. So they can't see any business linkage between the cybersecurity implementation. And there where I invented a new framework of cybersecurity, where I taken two parts of the cybersecurity and I implemented those as a framework. So first part is defense in depth, where there are 7 layers like data layer, physical layer, application layer, network layer, human layer, host and endpoint layer. So I have created a bare minimum cybersecurity controls which any small and medium enterprise company or small and medium business should have. And again, it is to the point. I have created few policies, controls, which are to the point, which will give them proper defense in depth. If hacker is able to breach one layer, he is not able to break all these layers, and he can't actually harm that company. So this is what I did. That is the first part of the BDSLCCI. Second part is based on CIA, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. If confidentiality is broken, it causes disclosure. If integrity is broken, it causes alteration. If availability is broken, it causes non-availability of the asset. So all the companies are having different mission critical assets. That is one thing. For example, if you are talking about manufacturing industry is having CNC machine, computer numeric control machines, or PLC machines, or some manufacturing machines as a highest priority machines for them, because if those machines will not be available for some time, they will lose the huge productivity, right? So they will lose millions of dollars. So it is very important for them to consider availability of the CNC machine as a first priority. If we talk about the vaccine manufacturing company in healthcare or pharma, so for them, the integrity of that computerized machine where all the components of the medicine are configured, And if hacker will, like I told you just before few slides, like the hacker was able to manipulate the chlorine level or sodium hydroxide layer of the water supply system. Similar way, if hacker will reach to those computerized machine and he will alter something which will make the medicine as a poison, right? So it will be dangerous. So integrity is more important for such asset. For banking, BSFI, there is a confidentiality is a more important. So depending on your mission critical asset, BDSLCCI considers ascending order of the controls to be implemented. So for some few assets, availability is more important. So it will start talking about availability to be protected. For few mission critical asset, it will talk about integrity to be first priority. So like that. So business domain specific BDSLCCI framework, I have created a SaaS platform, which is available online, bdslcci.com, and it gives you tailored controls, like 15 to 40 controls required for your business. Depending on your business domain, you get protection of defense in depth, as well as the mission critical asset protection. It is a less time consuming. I already started implementing it in various companies across globe, starting from United States till India. And we have implemented a few companies were able to adopt this framework within three weeks. And it starts from we are charging them for the audit and few of the online consulting through SaaS platform. It starts from 100 USD. And again, we are giving them certification after qualifying certain level of controls according to BDSLCCI recommendation. We also give them the certificate, transcript, as well as we are giving them analytical reports at various sections, like employee awareness training section. They are able to export the PDF report. They are able to export the PDF report of the after assessment. They receive an analytical report where they can see coverage and effectiveness of the controls, and they can actually show display it to the customers. So that is all we are doing through this. Also, this framework is actually taking into consideration like GDPR, California Privacy Act, or DPDP Act of the India. So many, around 13 privacy acts I have tried to cover in this as a small and medium enterprises, what they need to take as a best practice while implementing cybersecurity. So as this diagram shows, there are three levels of the BDSLCCI. In first level of BDSLCCI, company need to implement cybersecurity controls for host or endpoint security layer, data security layer, human security layer, and mission critical assets, confidentiality, integrity, or availability, whatever the priority. And it comes around 20 to 26 controls. After that, BDSLCCI level 2, level 3, and there is an annual recertification they need to apply and they need to undergo. We are changing BDSLCCI version yearly basis, where we are actually doing few modifications depending on the latest cyber attack trend. Like last year, we studied 4,500 cyber attacks of worldwide, and we actually we did few changes in BDSLCCI version 1.0, which was last year. And this year, January, we started BDSLCCI 2.0, where Data Privacy Act has been prioritized and few controls has been changed. So we are going to do changes in this BDSLCCI framework yearly basis, and it will be like 10-20% of the changes, where we will try to adopt, like deepfake attacks are happening. So what precautions companies need to take. So it will be a very dynamic and to the point, and it will be in sync with the latest cyber attacks trend. So, and again, companies will get such kind of certificate from us once they qualify particular level of BDSLCCI. They will receive a transcript like which shows the coverage and what are the controls we have assessed during the online audit. So online audit also happens online. Companies need to submit their evidences based on questionnaire we have asked after implementing cybersecurity controls as per BDSLCCI, or the auditor will visit their physical premise and he will actually do the audit. So both ways are possible. And we are giving the analyticals where through our portal, where we are showing coverage and effectiveness of the controls. So moving towards the case studies, it is very important to understand, like since last 2 years, I have implemented BDSLCCI for hundreds of companies, thousands of companies, more than 1,000 companies have registered this year. And we are actually, and the company size, if you ask me, one company is of 2 employee size, one company is at 400 employee size, and we are able to cater all of them. Even though size is dramatically changing, but we have something for them. every company is very happy. And one of the case study which I would like to explain here is about one of the BSFI data processor company, where it is actually backend for few of the banks and insurance domain. And they are like 50 people company where they process few confidential data. And they were asked by the customer or the compliance team of the client to undergo certain controls. And they approach us, we help them to implement BDSLCCI, and they qualify that certain requirement as a vendor. So it is very important, like companies should undergo supply chain security best practices. One of the adhesive manufacturing company, it is a globally, it is one of the MNC, well-known MNC since 1970, and they are having around 200 employees, and they actually had a lot of compliance requirement as they are going globally. Again, they were facing few viruses and malwares, so company owners were very concerned, and then we helped them to implement BDSLCCI, and we improved their security posture. One of the IT company, which is manufacturing, which is actually developing softwares for the other companies in United States and Europe. So they were having requirement from client, like as we are sharing confidential information with you about our customer and we are handling our data, you are handling our source code. So you should have minimum cybersecurity controls. So we have given them BDSLCCI, and which qualify them as a good vendor, and they continued with the assignment. So BDSLCCI is helping many companies at ground level, and I personally went to more than 35 companies since last during my doctorate and after that, and I interacted with the accountants of the company, HR department of the company, employees of the company, the shop floor employees who are handling CNC machines and PLC machines. I spoke to all of them. I merged their knowledge into this framework to make it more and more useful for the industry. So this research has been published as a book last year, and BDSLCCI 2.0 has been book has been modified, and it is available on Amazon. It was ranked #1 in encryption and security category, and on Amazon Kindle. Again, it got published in elsewhere, JJIMEI International Journal. It got published as a chapter in one of the book published by Smart Analytic on Smart Analytic in Global Digitalized Economy by Emerald Publishing UK. And it got published recently in California's journal, and also it got published in Poland's Pen Test Journal. And to conclude my session, I would say to be cybersecure is right of all the organizations, regardless of their business domain, as well as size, as well as location and revenue. So it is very important, like if this company is small, it does not mean like they are not having any solution to be cybersecure. They should not treat the cybersecurity as a very expensive affair. They can come with the BDSLCCI and we will help them. And we are using AI/ML in our platform, along with the few automation use cases are in pipeline. So we are trying to make it more and more easy to implement, as well as more and more automation kind of stuff. So as it will be more reachable, more scalable to all the companies, even though they are having one computer or 500 computers. So this is something I wanted to share. You can add me on LinkedIn and I will get in touch with you. You can check our website, www.bdslcci.com, as well as www.secureclaw.com. So secureclaw.com is having BDSLCCI as one of the key service, along with other cybersecurity services. So that is what I wanted to share with you. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm open for any questions.